I wrote a tweet yesterday that said, I don't want to spend my 20s worrying about my 30s, being anxious about the rest of my life. I just want to be present. And I think I've been even giving myself anxiety thinking about my future so much. What's going to happen? When am I going to die? Who am I going to marry? It's bombarded my thoughts, and it's honestly just been a weight. Truly, life is uncontrollable. There's no way of trying to pinpoint what's going to happen next or what will happen 10 years from now. Just be present today. The reality is, one day, life will continue on without you.
Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Didi and I make fashion, lifestyle, travel and mental health content. So this week we are having a sit down video, and to be honest, I usually enjoy sit downs because it's a way for me to express myself and to also get to hear your view. So this week I'm sharing with you 25 lessons that I've learned from being 25. I turned 25 earlier in May, and to be honest, I was having so much anxiety about being 25. Like, where am I in life? Have I done the things that I needed to do? Why are these things not working? What do I do? What's the next stage in life? I'm gonna graduate. What's gonna happen? So I came up with a list of 25 things that I think are very important, and I think that they will help you as well. The first lesson I feel like has taught me and has opened up my eyes is that, your 20s are your prime time. So this is when you need to be making things, you need to be trying out new things, you need to be learning from your mistakes, you need to get your eyes into a different landscape where you're seeing different things and trying to immerse yourself in different cultures, different environments, and this is where you need to just put your foot out and don't be afraid, because your prime time, this is the time that it's like you'll make it or break it. What you do in your 20s defines what you do in the next phases of your life. All right, so this second point is kind of intertwined with the first one because it's about finding your path. And now while you're trying to find your footing in life, I feel like it's easier and it's more eye-opening when you try and find your purpose with God and align yourself with God. That is, so for me, I feel like when I turned 25, I was so overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed with a lot of things, but I feel like this is the year that I connected more with God than I've ever done before, and I feel like it helped me find my path internally, externally, and to phase myself and understand who I am. The third thing is that trends come and go. We're living in times where something goes viral, everyone wants to do it. This is where you need to remove yourself from the trends and focus on the values that are within yourself. Sometimes you may be lost in the things that are happening around you, and you forget that everyone has their own lives, and what worked for someone isn't the same thing that will work for you. So just start by appreciating your values from within and exude it outwards, and that's how you will be able to walk forward. Number 4 is that you need to start saving up. I feel like I always knew about savings. I'm quite a good saver, to be honest. I'm not where I want to be with my money and savings, but I feel like this is the time where you also are making money, you're doing gigs, you're doing this and this, and if you don't learn how to use your money, you'll have a big challenge ahead, because when you grow up you realize that you need to do certain things, and sometimes savings can help you in certain situations. So it's very, very good for you to save. You can start small, it doesn't really have to be something big, and one step at a time and you'll get to where you want to be. Saving is such a great bargain because you're able to invest your money in something, maybe save it in the bank, or sometimes I feel like the bank, they don't have the best interest rates, so it's like a safe bet. But then there are other channels of investing your money, maybe investing it in a business, investing it in circles, investing it in bonds and all those things. So I'm not 100% financially literate, but it's something that I'm really trying to cultivate more of, and it's something that I feel like is important for everyone, no matter what walk of life you're in. Saving is very important. Number 5, don't neglect your body or your health. Okay, so one thing I've realized about growing up, for me, as a female, my cycle tends to be distorted. I wouldn't say missing irregularities like that, but I feel like the more I'm growing, the more like things are severe. Like I can feel when the cramps are coming, I can feel when I'm ovulating, I can tell when my body has taken a toll, I can tell when my body is exhausted. So I feel like this I feel like you need to take care of your body, one, by hydrating and all these things, exercising and all, but at the same time don't neglect checkups. Regular checkups are very important, like pap smears, all that stuff. Like it's very, very important for you to be able to do that. And I know, and for me personally, I've been meaning to have one of those checkups, especially like with my lady bits and all. And yeah, so it's something that I've always wanted to do, and I'm really, really open to it, because it allows you to also be in tune and know what's wrong or know what's right or know how to handle certain situations. Number 6, and I'm coming with much fire, is do not settle. Sis, do not settle. And I'm talking about settling in terms of like relationships, friendships, job offers, career wise. Don't settle that easily. You might have something good that comes your way, but if you don't analyze it and try and make sure that, okay, is this person or is this thing aligning with my values? Is this thing taking away from me or is it giving me? Is this thing helping me intellectually? Is this thing giving me some type of safe place? Sometimes you might get involved with friendships and relationships and all these things, and sometimes, and the fact that you want things to work, you ignore the red flags, you ignore like your values, stoop to some levels where you obviously know that you don't want to be there, but you're there because of other reasons. So I feel like it's very, very important to know when to settle and to know when not to settle. Seventh rule of life is that your friends define who you are. I know you've had that saying where show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. I feel like that quote is very, very true, because when you surround yourself with thieves, of course you'll be a thief. If you surround yourself with intellectual people, you'll find yourself thinking bigger. You'll find yourself in immersing into like growth and all those things. So make sure you choose your friends wisely, because I feel like in your 20s, these are the friends that you make and that you pull each other through every other walk of life. And I'm so grateful for the friends that I have in my life, who we are able to like help each other in certain things and just grow with each other and being frank with each other. 8, honey boo boo, is learn to communicate your feelings. Now, communication is one of the most important life skills that there could be, because I've realized that when I was a bit younger, of course, like I wasn't able to communicate as well. I wasn't the best communicator, but I feel like I was always afraid of confrontations and that kind of thing. So like growing up, I've found myself like surrounding myself with older people and surrounding myself with people who challenge me to even like speak up for myself. For a long time I wasn't that person who would just stand up and say, I don't want this, I want this. So I feel like this is a time where you need to learn how to communicate your feelings, because you are growing in life and you're going into like places, heavenly, like high places. You might be sitting with people from different calibers of life, and if you don't know how to communicate, then you might miss out on opportunities, you might miss out on some relationships, you might miss out on just like that thing that needed to like take you to the next level. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah. 9 is the one that is taking the lead, because I feel like sometimes we fall into pressure. So the ninth lesson that I think I've learned is that okay to be in a space of not knowing. Sometimes you don't know what career you want to go into, you don't know what you are doing with your life. So as long as you have it in your mind that you want to reach a certain place, don't be too hard on yourself. Don't fall into the pressures of, oh my god, I'm 25, to be married at 26, I need to be done this and this, I need my car by this time. Sometimes we fall into the pressure of things because of our parents or the people around us. So just learn how to like pause and like separate things. Sometimes you can just be frank with yourself. I don't know where I'm going at the moment, but I'm taking steps towards reaching where I know I'll be able to achieve my full potential. I'm sure you know the 10th lesson, which I'm gonna say, and it's learn to make connections. I feel like, I'm sure you've heard this, I feel like there's this quote that says your network is your net worth. So in this time where you are growing from the age of 20 to 25, there you are meeting new people, you meet people every day in different walks of life. I feel like these are the same people who might be the ones who, you know, who might be your destiny helpers, people who you meet once and they have like such a huge impact in your life. It's very, very important to make sure that you keep those connections. Even while you're in uni, talk to your lecturers. This lecturer might be the same person who will give you a recommendation when you are looking for work, and you know, that kind of thing. So it's very, very important to form connections. Even if you're an introvert, I know it doesn't come easy, but it's something that's very doable and something that will help elevate your life. 11 is strive to be able to make more than one stream of income. Okay, the life that we're living in right now is so tricky. The way the scene is with money, with unemployment, with, like, you know, you never know what's gonna happen in life. So it's always good to have more than one thing to rely on, as you might be working and then maybe have like a small business on the side. You might be in school and then you're into something else like photography, which is going to help you get a few dollars here and there. So I feel like this needs to be shared more, because most people settle for like one thing, and then like the way the world is going, you saw how 2020 was. Like all of a sudden, like people are losing their jobs, there's a whole crisis going on, we're in a pandemic. So you find that if the people who were able to like sustain themselves, maybe they were doing other things at the back of what they were doing initially, and that helped them grow and helped, like, you know, stabilize their income. And I know it's a long shot, it might seem hard, but it's something that you can just slowly learn and slowly like strive into getting to a space where you don't rely on just one thing to make money. Yeah. 12 is almost similar to what I said earlier about don't settle. So I feel like it's very important not to go beneath your value. As a woman, as a man, you have certain standards in regards to like the life you want to live, the person you want to be with, the career you want to get into. Don't just settle, don't neglect your values, don't neglect the fact that you have standards and you need those standards to be met. Because sometimes you might find yourself, okay, let me just do this because this person said so, or let me get into this because this and this happened to this other person. Just be true to yourself and follow your value system, because those are the little things that will help push you forward in life. I can't stress enough the 13th lesson, which goes to say that self-care is very, very important. Don't neglect your self-care. Don't neglect those days where you need to just take a reset button and leave everything and just focus on yourself, focus on your wellness, focus on your mind, making sure that you're feeding yourself things that are helping you grow, making sure that you're not on the computer 24/7 trying to make the money and you're ignoring self-care, you're ignoring taking care of your body, you're ignoring eating well, you're ignoring a lot of things that help you get better. So just make sure that whatever it is that you do, set aside time for your self-care, set aside time for yourself, where you can be able to just chill, have a look at your inward self, have a look at where you are now, where you want to be, where you want to go. And that routine, that culture will really ground you, especially when you're going through something and you already know in the back of your mind, whenever I'm feeling stressed, this usually helps me. Whenever I'm feeling like things are not working out, this is what helps me. So just be open to self-care. I'm sure like self-care has been spoken about for so long, and it's something that's that should be a lifestyle. And I'm really, really glad that I have my thing where I know I have a place where I go, or a thing that I go to whenever I feel some type of way, and it usually just brightens up my mood and helps keep me motivated and get to where I want to be. Number 14 is don't be afraid to be single. Now I feel like there's a lot of like differences when it comes to being single and being alone. Alone is something totally different from being single, because when you're single you are not ready to mingle. Jokes aside, when you're single you are when you're single, you are, you spend most of your time like discovering yourself and learning things that work for you and learning to love yourself. And I feel like sometimes people like misplace the two. Being alone is not good, because whenever you're alone so much, you can get into depression, you can get into like, blocking people from being around you and that kind of thing. So there's a whole difference between being single and being alone. So what I'm really striving for here is do not be afraid to be single. Being single isn't a death sentence. You don't have to be with someone so that you can be whole. You can find wholeness in being by yourself. And while that is happening, the right person will always come along. 15th lesson I think I've learned is that when the more you grow older, the more you are closer to your family, closer to your parents, because you know, you'd be going through things that they've already gone through, and they know how to help you with that. So I feel like me, the more I'm growing up, the more I find myself I'm closer to my dad now than I ever was when I was a bit younger, and my mom and my sister. So it's something that I feel like is very important. You're able to learn from people's experience, and you're able to share and even build better bonds with your family. Number 16 is don't be afraid to show up. And by showing up, I mean being present in your friendships, being present in your relationships, being present in your family. Don't be that guy who is always keeping to themselves, because I've just mentioned earlier, like, there's a difference between being single and being alone. Being alone usually comes with a lot of fear of interactions, and being alone also makes you miss out on opportunities because you don't want to surround yourself with people. What I'd suggest is don't be afraid to show up in those opportunities. Show up in your career, show up in your friendships, show up in your family, show up in every way you can. What you do now determines what your future is like. Now this one goes out to all my girls. Number 17 lesson that I've learned is that learn to accept your body changes. Earlier on I talked about how, you know, the more you grow up, the more you realize that the more in tune you are with your body. Intertwined, because the more you grow up, more like things get a bit heavier, things get a bit, you know, questionable. You're like, oh my god, I am gaining weight like so easily. Oh my god, I'm breaking out. Oh my god, my hormone levels are going up and down. Oh my god, there's a lot of things that happen, especially for women, when it comes to body changes. And all I want to say to you is that don't be afraid of your body changing. It happens to everyone. All you need to do is just understand that you know, your body is going through some things, and there are certain things that you can do if you feel like, oh my god, I've gained a lot of weight, or this is happening. There's for, let's say, for example, for instance, for me, if it's I'm noticing that I'm having a lot of breakouts and acne, you know, maybe just try a simple skincare routine. If you find yourself maybe weight-wise you're not where you want to be, try and find avenues like, you know, working out from home, going to the gym, or doing just things that, you know, help your body be active, because the less your body is active, the more difficult it is for you. Like, you start finding yourself like, you know, you're always out of breath, you always get tired easily. So like, just being in tune with your body is very, very important, and you need to pay attention to your body. 19, learn to forgive and move on. I know that sometimes, like, when you have mishaps with people, it might be difficult to forgive the person, maybe because of what they did, you did, but standing from a standpoint where you want to be a better person, I feel like forgiveness is everything. Even in failed relationships, forgiveness is everything, because the more, once you learn how to forgive, you give yourself time to, you give yourself a space where there's nothing holding you back or drawing you down. Because I feel like when you don't forgive people, it's like you're always carrying you're always carrying a burden, and it's very heavy. But once you forgive someone, like, it comes off, and you reach in a level where you're platonic, and there's nothing like making you guys drift up. Like, there's nothing coming against you and your peace. So finding forgiveness is very, very important, and it's the first step to moving on in most cases, you know. At 20, we are at the 20th lesson now, is the older you get, the more your plate needs green stuff. So, you know, secret to good mental health is eating well, you know. So when you find yourself just eating junk, maybe you'll be susceptible to, you know, getting anxious getting more anxious than usual. When you find yourself not eating well, you also find that your body struggles. Maybe you're not able to climb the stairs without like panting so much, you're not able to fight diseases, you get a flu for 3 weeks, it's not going, you know. So I feel like it's very, very important, and not just for like people who are growing, like not just for like your 20s. I think this should be for everyone in every walk of life, because eating greens only means that, you know, you're going to be able to fight diseases easier. It means you're going to be in a healthy state. And I feel like and the most important thing that I learned is that whenever you're struggling with a mental illness, they always make make sure that your diet is balanced, because diet is everything. What you eat, what you take in is what kind of like is what you give out. So if you find yourself just drinking, snacking, junking, you'll find yourself in like a state of like you won't be in a great space as compared to eating well, hydrating well, and just trying to take care of your body more. But you can never have it all planned out. 2020, I'm sure it showed every single person in this world that nothing is in your control. There are some things that are in your control, but there are other things that you can't really like evade, because sometimes you might want to plan, and planning isn't bad, to be honest. Planning is always a very great avenue for you to be able to have a structured life. But if you just stick directly to the plan and something else happens, that's going to be really, really hard for you. So I feel like that whole thing about learning to like live by what comes your way is very important, because you're able to find yourself like adjusting to change, and change is also very important. So when you find yourself in a space where you can't take in change, it's probably because you are so used to planning and having control, whereas in reality you can have control, but there are some things that of course you can't be control of, and that's when you need to learn how to be accustomed to change. 2 is savor your relationships and savor your friendships. The more you grow up is when you realize, okay, people get busy. You're having an 8 to 5. I'm telling you, the weekend comes, the only thing you want to do is just lock yourself in the room, have alone time, do your skincare routine, just love on yourself. But I have experienced this myself. Like I find myself like, oh my god, I've not talked to my best friend, I've not seen her in a while because she's busy. And then when she's not busy, I'm busy. But when I'm busy, like sometimes life can get in the way of things. But your 20s are the times where you need to savor your friendships, savor those memories. Make sure you guys go out, do activities together, and build amazing memories that you're going to look back to and feel fulfilled, because you've lived a life that's worth enjoying, and you've lived through experiences with your favorite people, and that's something that I'm always down for. 23, don't be afraid to seek help. Don't be afraid to ask for help when you need help. That's something that I've learned, and for me, I learned it because that's when I started blogging when I was in uni, when I was in my first year, and I realized that of course I need help. I need my friend to help me with taking pictures. I need my friend to help me in school. She did this course earlier than me, so she's gonna help me with her notes so that I can be able to study. Like I learned so many things about like relying on each other and seeking help, which I think is very, very important. So whatever time you feel like, oh my god, I'm alone, I'm not gonna be able to get through this, just ask for help. It won't hurt, it won't make you go lower than who you are, it won't harm you in any way. Seeking help is always something that shows that you are very progressive and you are open to being in a conducive environment, because if you don't ask for help, then it means that you're going to probably drown in something whereby it would be so easy for you to get help, and it would be so easy for you to just call someone and get them to help you and be able to finish the thing that you need to finish. 24th lesson that I have is that learn to visualize the life that you have, the life that you want to live, because it's from the place of visualization and the place of self-searching where you realize where you want to be in life and what kind of life you want to live in. So it's very, very important to go back to the drawing board, look at how far you've come, look at the obstacles you've had, look at the way you managed to go through different challenges, and learn to visualize your next step, because there's always going to, as human beings, we are always inclined to want to go higher and higher. So you might reach this goal where you're like, I want to say and make this money by this time. You'll find yourself, you've reached your threshold and you'll want to do more. So you'll want to invest in more things that can help you get to a higher level than the one you are at, because we are humans and we are progressive beings. So staying in the same level is it's actually even not healthy. You need to always want to go to the next level and go higher and higher, so that you can be able to reach self-actualization. And I feel that's something that I learned from school. What was that thing called? Maslow's hierarchy of things. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the one. Yeah. And the last and most important lesson that I've learned from being 25 is, drum rolls, honor your parents while you still have them. You know, sometimes I know that we can take away the fact that, oh my god, my mom is annoying, oh my god, my dad doesn't want me to do this, oh my god, they don't want me to do this. You know, sometimes we look at it from a place of like anger, and you're like, oh my god, they don't want me to do this because they don't want to be happy for me, they don't want me to do this and this. But you know, when you are not in good terms with your parents, sometimes it can take a strain on your life. And I feel like the more you honor the more you honor your parents, the more blessings you get in life. And it's also a commandment in the Bible, you know, honor your parents so that you may live long. You know, when you honor, and I feel like that's just how life should be. I know that sometimes that you can be in strained relationships with your parents, and sometimes you might not be able to see each other eye to eye, but that little respect that you give them, that honor that you give them, has the potential to open you up to possibilities and open you up to different levels of life, you know. So yeah, I hope you've learned a thing or two from this video. I generally feel like there's so much more I'd like to say about this, but I don't want the video to be entirely long, you know. But these are just a few lessons that I feel like I've learned in turning 25, and I'd love to hear what's your takeaway from this. What's a lesson that you've learned from your 25th or your 24th, your 30th even, you know. Let me know in the comment section below. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching. If you reached this far, please leave growth. Please write growth in the comment section if you reached this far, because I feel like we're in a season of growth as well. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to turn on your post notifications so that you can be getting notified every time I post a new video, and I'll definitely see you guys on my next video.